before you can contest. That's one of the biggest highlights of 2022 Electoral Act amendments. Yes. You recall that the likes of Amici, they would have preferred to be in office while contesting for president. The likes of even Akpabio, who is now the Senate president, would have preferred to. And the danger in that, and I think the wisdom behind that Electoral Act is what you just highlighted here. And that's to say that let there not be conflict of interest. Yes. Because while you are in power, the money you use to campaign, it might be so easy for you to dip your hands into the cookie jar. So basically, I believe that that decision is expected. The president is not even the first. I think the governor of, one governor in a state also gave this directive. I think in Kaduna, I wish the producer can help me. So that's just to say that please count your cost. If you want to become a governor, if you want to become a particular elective office, you need to step aside. Let someone who is looking beyond, you know, being elected do the job. And trust me, this is a wonderful decision. I didn't see it coming that it's going to be much. I'm sure it's also being in tune with the whole electionary campaign. Yes. Because some of them have started showing interest, some of them have started moving. And if you don't separate them from being signatory to some movement of funds, we might be inviting corruption into their abode. So this is perfectly in order. Before we now talk into those who are likely to resign.
Yeah, okay. So talk to me, what are your thoughts here?
Well, I think that there should be a level playing field for everybody that is elected, is interested in contesting for an elected position. If you allow an appointee to remain in his executive position, there is the likelihood in Nigeria that it's going to use that his position to further his nest, to the detriment of the next person. So what the president has done is a good example which governors too have to do. State governors have to do the same thing with their members of the executive and appointees. When you are interested, you cannot be in two places at the same time. You know, you cannot eat your cake and have it. Let them throw in their towel and allow others and contest in an open field with others. Thank God that this year electoral law stipulates that you cannot, as an elective, as an appointee, you cannot vote during Congress. You cannot vote during the primaries. The primary is not thrown open to everybody who is a member of the party. And that is the best thing that we have done with this electoral Act 2026. So it's not a question of because you're a commissioner, you don't take all your supporters, or a governor will just sit down in one corner and write the names of the members of the electoral college, delegates, that we elect somebody with. Yes, they will still influence it.
Kaide is against this. That's what you're talking about. That's a conversation for another day.
Don't speak for me.
The primary is the best thing to move the powers in the party to the people, to allow the people to have to seize ownership of the party to which they subscribe to, instead of allowing our governors and the executives to determine what happens. So it's a level playing field. Let everybody go into that field and test their mettle. It is a time in which they know whether you have abandoned your constituency. The moment you got an elected position or an appointee. So let everybody be on a level playing field so that they can contest. It's not a question of using the state resources and apparatus of government to influence your decision. So the president has been so decisive. Yes. And when you are decisive, you're only trying to tell the governors and others that follow this path so that we can bequeath democracy. No matter what the critics may say, look, when you are decisive as a leader, they will not like you, but he has done the best.
Right. Now, gentlemen, let's play the devil's advocate. Looking at what you said before, are there some names that you can give? Or some persons, names that, that you think, maybe in the cabinet, maybe in the cabinet, that you think might be going for.
Please, this is...
Might be resigning or...
This is purely speculative.
Speculative, okay.
So it depends on what happens at the end of the day, because somebody can choose not to do it again. Okay. But feelers has it that you might have the Minister of Health wanting to become the governor, you know, and we also understand Tuga, the same state.
Foreign Affairs?
Yes, we also go. The Minister of Power, I don't think that one is hidden.
Minister of Power?
Yes, that's Adelabu. Wants to be governor of Oyo State. and quite some numbers so that I don't release all the names.
Finance minister is not there.
No, it's not there.
I didn't hear anything. I'm asking you. I'm only asking.
I don't think it's in the picture. I don't think it's in the picture.
But back to what you said, I'm looking at, for those who might say that, why political appointees? Yes. Why not the governors? I think it will be stretching it too much. Because the governance must continue. There must be a governor at every point in time. There must not be a vacuum. So this is extended to political appointees now, so that they can focus on what they want. Trust me, if you leave it for politicians, they want to eat their cake and have it. They still want to be in office so that when I lose this election, I will move here. I will still continue my job. I think that's not fair, But if you're so good, the president can reappoint you. Who says, if you lose out at the end of the day, it's not a do or die affair. You don't have to be in public office all your life. It is really about service. And if it's really about service, I think they should, but trust me, for politicians, they are looking at it as a risk.
Okay, now this call for resignation, how do you think it will stabilize the polity, before the primaries?
Well, I don't think it's because we are a country that has no respect for our own laws.
Our own laws.
We have to respect our own laws. And for the very first time, people will begin to, when you get an appointment, you begin to work. The day you resume office is the day you start planning when you are going to leave that office, especially when you have an ambition. So I think 3.5 years should be enough for them to get prepared to go and face the people. So I think it's a normal thing to do. It's because in Nigeria we are not used to do things in the normal way. The president has done it. You want to have
are there mechanisms to monitor compliance?
If
you don't, or maybe punishment for violation.
For instance, let me put it clearly.
Yes. The president knows how many appointees.
Exactly. Number one. Number two, let me put it clearly, except I'm not getting it correctly. Yes. This is not really a thumbs up for the president. It is about the law.
It's about the law.
Yes. Electoral Act says that you need to resign for you to participate in election. It's the law. Okay. What the president has done is to tell them that some of you, I know you have started campaign. So you cannot continue to do this too. Because campaign involves spending of funds.
That's true.
So don't touch the money. Do you understand? That they are going is normal. The governors have no choice. Okay. They will give them this deadline. It's just for them to announce their own time. Because I know you have started. Because if you don't do it, it's going to work against you. Somebody is going to disqualify you that you have not resigned. Therefore, you cannot be screened as an aspirant. Okay. So it's the law. So I'm only looking at it from, maybe you have forgotten, someone like Ngige. Okay. He has already declared that he wants to be president. But when you look at the caliber of people, he withdrew his declaration. And he continued as the Minister of Labour then.
Minister of Labour.
So, trust me, that's why I said I don't want to speak expressly. Some of them that I mentioned might choose to say that, no, the plans I have, let me continue as minister.
No, maybe just that you have to decide. Okay. But once you decide, you've made that decision, the best thing is
resign.
Like he said, if you are unable to get nomination from your party and you work so well, you are so diligent, the president can recall you back. So people should be able to put all at stake to whatever they believe in.
Hold on. If you don't get the nomination
but it's
at the discretion of the
president or the governor
to call you back. So people should have no fear. After all, anything that is worth doing at all is worth doing well. You believe you want to represent your people, you should be able to do that sacrifice by facing them and let them do it. But I'm telling you, we all know Nigeria. Nigeria is a country of the region.
All right, primaries are starting next month. Gentlemen, what do you expect in the system?
Generally, or you are referring to these appointees?
Generally.
Yes, it's going to be quite serious. I see a situation where a lot of incumbents in terms of governors who want to go for second term, getting their tickets.
Even those that defected to the ruling party?
That would have been an agreement.
Okay, an agreement before.
However, that's why how do you win primaries? It's about your dominance, your control of the structure in the party.
For example, it is direct primary.
Yes.
Direct is a different ball game entirely.
There was one I heard. Was it, I think, was it Zamfara State or one of these states that the governor just came? They have to revisit, you know, the Congress they've done, so that the governor can also have his people among the structure that will determine it. You know, the issue of direct primaries that you are asking.
Because I know we've had that conversation.
It's just for us to be very, very politically aware and to say the way it is. Different styles have their advantages and disadvantages. I only highlighted some of the disadvantages of direct primaries because I've seen a lot of abracadabra. INEC officials cannot be at every polling stations. And at that time, there will be a lot of abracadabra in some places. And sometimes it also leads to intimidation, where when they see that some people are queuing behind Mr. Baton, they will say, you did not work for us, and therefore you will not get anything in this party. Because it's an open thing. It's like option A4. Am I wrong?
Yes.
You will queue behind the person or the candidate, because the aspirant cannot be everywhere. You will queue behind this person.
Maybe it's internal democracy.
It is already a law.
It's a level playing field.
Level playing.
It gives
a law.
an opportunity.
They want people to participate.
Who you want to carry the flag of your party.